Well, hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I've got a small group today, um, but I just want to thank you all so much for joining me. This month, we will be focusing on how to create and manage custom fields. So this was a feature that we released back in April of this year. Since it's been a while, I thought it might be a good time for us to just bring some attention to this, especially for those that may not be aware of this feature. As always, as we go through the information, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I know this training is set for an hour. I really doubt that we're going to take a whole hour to go through this feature. It's really pretty basic, but just really understanding how to get access to it, how to enter in the information, as well as how to filter and search and pull reports from your custom fields. So first, what I want to talk about is what is the custom fields and where you can get access. So the custom fields, these are added by account level administrators. And when I say account level administrators, I mean that this has to be done at the very top. So whoever is an administrator at the top level, so the parent organization. If you are a child organization, you're not going to be able to go in and create these custom fields. Okay, so that's going to be extremely important when it comes to access. So these custom fields that can be used to capture additional information within your people and or equipment profiles. So all accounts will have access to manage custom fields for people. However, when it comes to equipment, um, you have to be subscribed to the asset management feature. Okay, in order to be able to go into the secondary tab to add in custom fields for equipment. Once a custom field is created and set to show, as you see here, you have two options. You can set it to show and you can make it required. In this case, if you don't show or require it, it's not going to be viewable to anybody within your account. So those are the two options that you have. So once you set it to show, it's going to be available for all organizations under your account when you're looking at a hierarchy perspective who have access. So up to 10 custom fields can be created for each record type. So 10 for people and then 10 for equipment. Just a couple things to note on here. If you do have access to multiple accounts. Again, this is very rare. There's probably maybe just a few accounts out there that have this. But if you do have account level access to multiple accounts, just know that if you're looking at setting up custom fields, you have to be logged in as a user that only has access to that designated account. Okay, again, this is very rare. Not a lot of our customers have this, but I do want to put that out there. Once a custom field is created and set to show by an account administrator, it's going to be available to all organizations within that account hierarchy who has access to create and edit personnel records. So again, this also pertains to your individual access to Salamander Live and to that organizational data. You have to be able to create and edit personnel records in order to go in here and see the people form. You'll see in here it's added as a fifth column. So any custom fields that are marked as required, as you can see in here, it says can travel, has to be completed in order for you to move forward in the form and save. Another note on here is that any custom fields, so any data that you're adding for custom fields, they cannot be imported in. So everything has to be done manually when it comes to custom fields. So you have to go into each individual record and complete those that data for that custom field tab. When it comes to custom fields for equipment, it works a bit different. So to see custom fields for equipment, both the account and sub-account, or what we call in the system child organization, must be subscribed to the asset management feature. So down here, I've got two scenarios for a typical Salamander Live account setup. So scenario one, if the parent account is subscribed to asset management, but the child account is not, that means that the child account is, or I'm sorry, the child organization is not going to see the custom tab in the equipment form. So you're not going to even see this tab right here. Okay. If you do see that tab and it says that custom fields have not been activated, that just basically means that your organization, or sorry, your parent organization hasn't gone in and set up any. So that's usually the case. So if you don't have access at all, you won't see the custom tab. But if you do have access and it says that none have been set up, that's you have to contact your the account holder for the parent organization and have them set it up for you. Second scenario, if the child organization is ascribed to asset management, but the parent organization is not, in this case, you're still not going to see the custom tab in the equipment form. So both of you have to have access to asset management in order for this to happen. Okay. Again, when it comes to entering in data, if you, as the organization, has access, the custom fields for equipment that are added by your account level administrator and marked to show will be listed. They'll be listed here just like how you see this. Again, any custom fields that you have that's marked as required has to be completed in order for you to move forward and save. Again, data for equipment when it comes to custom fields has to be entered in manually, no importing. Okay. So I'm going to log into Salamander Live here so I can show you exactly what this looks like. So let me move my screen over. There's a couple things on here that you're going to be able to see. Okay. So first things first, if you're ever wondering if you have access um, to the asset management feature, you can always go to your welcome. Okay. You can go to your welcome and you can look at your permissions. So your permissions down here, it should say administrator. Again, you have to have administrator access. And then your organization, that's really what you're looking for is, are you part of the organization that's at the top? So administrator at the very top. If you don't, you're not going to see that. And it'll even tell you right here too, if you have access to view custom fields within the people list and equipment list. So this basically is letting you know whether or not, if you set up custom fields in this case, um, under the settings, those custom fields become a filterable column that you can add to your people list and your equipment list. And then you're able to filter out your data based off of those filtered columns. So this basically will let you know whether or not you have access to do that. The only reason why I would ever say no is if you have access to multiple accounts. Okay, that's the only reason why you'd ever see that. Okay. Another way for you to be able to see that is if you go to organizations and if you go into your chart view. If you go to your chart view, any organizational, so in this case, I only have access to one account, which is in this case, Sal Live Training. If I had access to another account, it would be listed red underneath here. And I'll show you a sample of another account that has access to multiple. So you can actually see what that looks like. Oh, so you see this? No and no, because this account has access to multiple accounts. So administrator for these two accounts right here. So if I go to organizations, I will see that there are two accounts that are highlighted in red. So here they are. You see that? So that's the difference between the two. Okay. Questions so far? I'm trying to get my screen back on here. Right, so how do you set up custom fields? All of that is done through these settings. So I'm going to log out of this one real quick here, log back to my single account login. So if you're an administrator at the parent organization, all you're going to do is you're going to go down to your left menu. You should see a settings option. You see settings options right here. You click on settings, click on account, and then from there, scroll down and you should see custom fields. Okay. All you have to do is click on the edit pencil icon, and then you can go in there and start adding in your custom fields for people. So in this case, you can have up to 10. Whatever you put in here and you make show is going to be available for all organizations underneath or within your account. So all organizations. They'll have the same. So if you have a lot of organizations, you may want to, have, a discussion to kind of discuss what those 10 might be that's most needed by all organizations. Again, this is shared across everyone. So if only one organization is going to use one of these custom fields, it may not make sense, especially if you have 10, 20, 30 organizations underneath you. So there, that just to, some things to consider on that. On the equipment side, again, you have to have access to asset management. So you have to be subscribed to that feature. If you're not subscribed, you'll see a little red note on here that says that you need to subscribe to asset management. Okay. But if you do have subscription to asset management, you'll see this. So again, same thing, 10 separate uh, fields that you can create for equipment, and you have your option to show or require on here. So anything that you want to put in here. And once you enter that in, just simply click Save. Once you click Save, this now will be accessible by your people that are going into your people database and your equipment database to add in data. Okay, so let's take a look on the people side here. So I'm going to go into a personnel record. Okay, I'm just going to click on Mark Clark here. So in this case, you go into the record. Again, when we talked about not being able to import, so you have to do this manually. You can click on the edit pencil icon and you'll see the custom tab. All you do is click on the custom tab and you should see those custom fields that were entered in by the administrator listed. Again, anything that's required is going to force you to put in something before you can move between the tabs and click save. Okay, so far nothing right here. So I'm just going to enter in yes, medium, medium. Okay. Oh, sorry, 10. So I'm going to click save. Once you enter that in, you'll see there's the custom section right here. Even if you don't enter data right here, all the custom fields are going to show up on there. Okay, so important to note on that. On the equipment side, if you have custom fields set up, you'll see it listed in here as well too. I'm just going to click on one of these right here. Click on the edit pencil icon and you should see it right here, custom. And then you'll see those fields that were created by the administrator. Again, you have your options of entering in any of that information. Okay, questions so far? Okay. From here, let's talk about filtering of data. So I'm going to go back to people on this case. Okay, again, you can do this on the equipment side too, same process. Okay, I'm just going to clear out my filter. I've got a filter set right now. So when it comes to filtering and adding of columns, so as you know, this is all user-based, okay? So the different individual columns that you have added on here for viewing is based on what you as the user wants to view at a glance. This is also going to be used for the CSV report. So this CSV export report is based off the columns and filters that you've set in here, okay? So what I'm talking about when it comes to custom fields for columns, what you're going to do is click on the edit columns, okay? So in here, any of your custom fields, so any custom fields that's been set by the administrator will be listed here as a column. So if I go down, I can see my can travel in here. You see that? I got my can travel. That was a custom field that was created. Another one is like hat size, shirt size, a couple of them in here. Okay, so hat size right here. I can add all of these in here if need be. Shoe size, shirt size. Okay, see that? Now you also have these custom field ones right here. It says custom field 1 through 10. The reason why this is listed here is for those users that have access to multiple accounts. So those users, when it comes to viewing the data in their list view, um, they have to be logged in as user for that designated account to see these custom field columns. If they don't, they'll have to go into your to custom field 1 or 2 or 3. It's just going to say custom field 1, custom field 2. It's not going to say that custom field 1, whatever you entered in on the settings side, was can travel. Fortunately, it doesn't work that way. It's just going to show you that custom field 1, what was entered in for custom field 1, what was entered in for custom field 2, 3, 4, 5 on the personnel record side, not on the setting side. Okay, so that's the difference. I'm going to pull this up so you guys can see this as well. 1, and then 2 and 3. Okay, so I'm going to add that in there. Those are down at the bottom. I'm just going to remove some of this stuff so it's easier for us to see. Okay, I'm going to click done, and this is what you're going to see. So whatever individuals that have data in here, I'm going to expand this to 100. They're going to see, you're going to see down here. So can travel, hat size, shoe size, shirt size matches up with custom field 1, 2, I forgot 3, but in this case, if I added 3, you'll see in there, and then 4. Okay. So that's the difference. So can travel was entered in as custom field number 1 on the setting side. So that's why the data in there matches up with custom field 1. So that's the difference between the two. So I recommend, for the majority of you, just go in and add the actual custom field column header and not these actual custom field ones, unless you're looking at multi accounts. Okay. Once you do that, of course, these columns can then be filtered in any way that you need to. So it just depends on what people have entered in there. So if you want to put Y, click yes. Now you've got this filtered by can travel. Okay. So anything that contains the Y in there, so this can include Y and yes, will be included in your report. So then you can pull this out into a CSV export, and then you can view a report of anybody that can travel. So now I've got my report. I'll make this nice and big. And there you go. Okay. Another thing to note on here, because this is a question that I've gotten in the past as well, is when it comes to multi-edit. So what is a multi-edit? A multi-edit is where you can go in and edit multiple records at one time within Salamander Live. And again, we're looking at the same edits, not different edits, same edits. So in this case, let's say I was looking at editing all these 3 records, making the same changes to all 15 records. Now, just to let you know, again, those custom fields are not going to be available within this edit multiple. So you can't go in there and try to edit a custom field, let's say if they can travel, and put yes for everybody. Unfortunately, that's not available through the multi-edit. Okay. So just like the import, it's not available. Possibly in a future update, maybe in our version 3, there might be a possibility of you being able to update um, or add in and import in data for custom fields, but as of today, that there's no way to do that. Okay. Questions? Last, what I want to talk on here, if there's no questions on that, is the ability to print custom fields on the ID cards. Okay, so that is a capability. However, you must have either our ID designer software, or you'll need to contact sales in order to get develop or custom design. Okay, so we can design it for you, and we can include whatever custom fields that you want on your card, and create a design for you. Okay, so that is available, but you do have to have, the only caveat is you have to have our newest print control software. So how you know that is if you try to print, it'll let you know if you have the newest version. Their newest version right now is version 5.10. So if you try to go and print, if I go in here and I click print, if you don't have the newest version, it will pop up a little message that says that you need to update your print control to the newest version, which is version 5.10. If you already have the newest version, it'll immediately take you to the print screen. Okay, so that's the best way to tell if you have the newest version of print control. Any questions on custom fields and how to manage, how to get access, how to enter in data, how to filter, and how to print custom fields? Questions? No questions. All right. So this was nice, short and sweet. Again, as I said in the beginning, I just wanted to put some focus and attention on this feature since there weren't too many people that were on those release calls. So I wanted to make sure that everybody got this information and they're able to go in there and set up those custom fields if need be. But as you're working through the system and if you're looking at adding custom fields, if you run into any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. You can contact me. Here's my contact information. I'll put that presentation back up here. So my contact information right here. You can always email me at training@salamanderlive.com. You can also call at our 877 number. This is our 24/7 limited support line, or you can contact your local rep as well too. Oh, I see a chat. There's a question. You're welcome, Amanda. No problem at all. All right, everyone. Nice, short, and sweet today. Thank you all so much again for joining me. Hopefully, you guys will join back next month, which is our last training, and we are going to be covering plans. So, Salamander Live plans feature. So, hopefully, you guys come back. That'll be the last training for this year of 2023, and we'll start back up in 2024. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care.